The room fell silent as the instructor slammed against the mat, eyes wide with disbelief. Phones froze mid-recording. No one moved. Moments ago, they had laughed at her, called her slow, fragile, out of place. But now, the elderly black woman they'd mocked stood poised and calm, her stance flawless, her presence unshakable. She hadn't raised her voice, hadn't bragged. She'd simply moved with the precision of someone who'd trained in silence for decades. This is the story of a reckoning no one saw coming. Welcome, story lovers. From where are you watching? Comment the name of your city. Every Tuesday morning, Miss Loretta laced up her white sneakers, packed a banana in her tote, and headed to the neighborhood rec center. At 68, her routine was simple: volunteer at the library, walk her dog, and attend the beginner's karate class she'd joined, just for fun. The instructors thought it was sweet. The younger students smiled politely. Most assumed she was there for light stretching or companionship. Loretta didn't mind the underestimation. She'd learned long ago that silence could be power. Beneath her calm demeanor and graying curls, there was a stillness honed by decades of discipline. Discipline no one bothered to ask about. The dojo floor smelled faintly of sweat and pine. She bowed like everyone else, took her place in the back row, and followed the warm-up drills. But that morning, the glances lingered longer. The whispers were louder, and someone new had walked in, with a smirk that wouldn't fade. The new instructor was young, brash, and clearly unimpressed. As the students lined up, he paced in front like a drill sergeant, barking corrections, smirking at stumbles. When his eyes landed on Loretta, the smirk widened. "Try to keep up, Grandma," he muttered just loud enough for others to hear. A few laughed. Loretta simply bowed her head and continued with the routine. But it didn't stop. Each movement she made was met with exaggerated sighs, sarcastic comments, or mocking mimicry. "Maybe you should stick to yoga," he quipped after she held a stance longer than the others. No one spoke up. The room shifted. Uncomfortable, silent, complicit. Then came the paired exercises. He matched Loretta with a younger, stronger white woman. "Go easy on her," he joked. "She's fragile." The woman hesitated, unsure whether to laugh or protest. Loretta offered a soft smile, raising her fists into position. They began the drill. The woman struck too hard, more than necessary. Loretta absorbed it with grace, correcting her stance with quiet authority. But the instructor saw only what he wanted. "Wrong," he barked at Loretta. "You don't correct anyone, you learn from them." Something in Loretta's eyes shifted, just for a moment. A flicker, a memory. Later, during a sparring demo, the instructor called her out again. "Let's see what you've really got, Grandma." The class turned. Phones came out. He raised his guard. He had no idea who he'd just challenged. The instructor lunged with a smug grin, expecting an easy block. But Loretta moved like water, fluid, precise, explosive. In one motion, she parried his strike, pivoted, and swept him clean off his feet. He hit the mat with a thud that echoed through the stunned dojo. Silence. Phones frozen mid-recording. Eyes wide, she stepped back calmly, offered a respectful bow, and spoke for the first time. Black belt. 5th Dan. Retired instructor. Tokyo, 1986. Gasps rippled through the room. The smirk on his face was gone, replaced by disbelief and something else. Shame. He scrambled to his feet, but the air had shifted. She hadn't just won a match. She'd shattered every assumption they had made about her, about age, about race. Dear audience, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories. Loretta finished the class in silence, her movements now watched with awe instead of mockery. Some students approached her afterward, not with pity, but with respect. The instructor never apologized, but he never made another joke again either. Something deeper had shifted. For Loretta, it wasn't about proving anything. It was about standing tall in a world that too often sees only what it wants. Age, skin, stereotypes. But how many others are dismissed before they even get the chance to show who they truly are? This wasn't just about a dojo. It was about every room where someone is underestimated because of their color or age. Racism isn't always loud. Sometimes it hides behind smirks and silence. So ask yourself, who have you been underestimating? Don't forget to like, share, and reflect. Subscribe for more eye-opening stories. See you in our next video.